Story begins, our protagonist named Grid. Grid thought I spend months and months, obediently listening to you guys, but fucking hell, now I being chased after. Am I going to die here? The warrior sliced his back. Asher said, foolish boy, you got too greedy, you got blinded by greed and betrayed my trust even after signing the contract. Although I know hopes on you, I should at least praise your tenacity that accomplished the mission. Grid said, even though I completed the difficult quest, you are treating me like a dog without any reward. Asher said, of course I will reward you. For you who lost my trust, the reward is death. Grid thought, is this it? To think that this is the result after pursuing a quest for months by putting my life on the line. This outrageous, shitty game. The world's greatest virtual reality game, Satisfy, with over 2 billion players worldwide. It is a fantasy world so vast that it can be called another Earth. The explored lands cannot compare in size to the undiscovered lands, and that place was, as expected, in a certain unexplored area. Northern End Cave, the deepest location within the cave, an area with all types of battle gear piled up like an overwhelming mountain. It remained unexplored until a certain user arrived and discovered it first. 1 hour ago, Grid, a level 73 warrior, found the S-grade quest item for Earl Asher, the legendary craftsman's rare book. Grid said it was a difficult journey, anyone else would have quit the game by now. Grid said, an S-grade quest that I could not even give up halfway. Just how many levels did I drop? How many potions and equipment did I lose to deal with this? Grid thought, once I get the Sun Sword as the reward, I won't talk to that Asher dude ever again. Grid noticed the quest item showed unidentified and you need to be discerning with Eye of Palalian. Grid thought, wait, if I remember correctly, it was an expensive appraisal item, around 500,000 won. Grid wonders, there's no way I could earn more through sheer labor. Do you know how many loans I got while playing this game? After struggling, Grid wonders, I might able get more from this. I am counting on you. System alerted appraising the legendary craftsman's rare book. You have discovered a legendary item. Pagma's rare book. This is a book that contains the techniques of Pagma, the master blacksmith who transcended human limits. By opening the book, you can change your class to Pagma's descendant. Rating legendary, reputation will rise by 500 across the content. Grid covered his mouth. Excited laughed, he can't believe it is a legendary class item, which means that he can become the strongest, one and only class. But then he give up the thought very quick. Grid said, wake up now, I am here to clear an S-grade quest. It would feel distasteful to leave the quest like this. I should just sell this thing. Legendary class, it should cost at least a few 100 million won. Grid thought, I've even been doing some hard labor due to the game price and school expenses. The only thing I am confident about is my tenacity, but all my friends left me for being addicted to the game. Even my family ignores me, thinking I am a useless loser. But it's over now. Say goodbye to my nightmarish life. Grid said, Mom, Dad, my little sister, I did it. I finally become successful through the game. While Grid think about to sell it now and log out. System alerted, you cannot end the game here. The quest Earl Asher's secret request S-grade is changed to Earl Asher's anger SS. Asher appeared with his men and said, foolish traveler, you all have the same greed. System alerted, Earl Asher is angry that you tried to take away the rare book. He intends to kill you and recover the book. Asher said, it is a worthy verdict for a traitor like you. Grid replied, stop shitting me, you even reduced my reputation that I struggled to accumulate to reduce item prices. Asher said, a meaningless plea, get him. Back to present, while Grid almost being killed. He wonders, I am still a sturdy level 73 warrior and cast Guardian Shield to stun the warrior. But he finds out it did not get stunned. Grid thought, are you kidding me? Half of my health though when blocked it. Even though I knew Asher was at level 300, I did not know these guys were this strong. This is not a quest made to be cleared in the beginning? This crappy game, the admins should all just die. Fucking right, of course. There's no way this chance of a lifetime would ever happen to me. Grid wonders, wait, if I die here, what about the book? Won't this disappear as well? I can't clear the quest nor log out. I obviously can't sell the item either. If it is an item that will disappear from the inventory, then I only have a single choice left. Asher said, he's trying to open the book. Stop him. Grid said, too late, you shitty scamming Earl. You should have let me be. System alerted, commencing class change. Grid wonders, now it's do or die. It's a legendary class. If I become the strongest class, I might possibly clear this quest. System alerted, you have changed class to Pagma's descendant, the legendary blacksmith. Grid thought, is this a production class? To think that I will be doing hard labor in the game as well. Is it because it's a legendary class? It's like I am overflowing with power. Grid wonders it feels good seeing that Asher bastard panicking. Now I shall entirely deal with you guys and clear this crappy quest. System alerted class change over. Title 1 who became a legend has been acquired. Grid said you are finished assholes. Die. System alerted you are now level 1. You have died. At that moment, in real life, someone said from the phone therefore, according to the operations team's report, the class change happened 5 minutes ago. The man said I understand I will join you at the company. Then he wonders the class change happened. Interesting. System alerted your level has dropped by 2, you are now level -1. Quest failed, you are no longer able to enter Patreon, any Patreon soldier will kill you on sight. Grid said you seriously kill people just because they got swayed a bit? What's up with that face? You were furious just moments ago. You dirty scammers, these guys are scammers. Don't play this game, live a happy life. Soon. Grid wake up from his capsule. Grid said I could have gained hundreds of million, shame. Then her mother said just what time do you think it is right now? Location the game satisfies developer operating company. This lady is Nahi from operations team. This man is the head of the SA group and satisfies developer Chulho. Chulho said the class change happened 5 minutes ago? I was not expecting that. Looks like things will get interesting. I will first have to take a look at the report. Is everything ready? Team leader Choi. Soon. Nahi said ID Grid. Originally a level 73 warrior, now at level -1. His real name is Young Woo. He changed classes using Earl Asher's quest item Pagma's rare book. According to the Intel Room's report, he is an ordinary user who is addicted to the game. His special achievements are staying in the same city for a year to raise reputation and playing in a level 200 area for 3 months while endlessly dying. Although you ordered us to report directly to you for legendary class changes, look at this foolish and inefficient pattern, we can consider this an accidental case that is unnecessary to report. Chulho replied, really? I think that luck and tenacity are good traits. Nahe said, but he gained the class due to pure luck, so is there any meaning to it? Even though I think it is a shame as the operations team leader. Chulho said, I am saying that this luck is what's interesting. As you know, according to the supercomputer Morpheus and the development team's predictions, the Northern End Cave and Pagma's rare book were supposed to be discovered in 2 years. However, that boy broke the predictions, discovered the cave and activated the quest chain to get the book. Can those quests, items, can they all be explained with luck? And there's another interesting thing, the minus level. Normally speaking, the Asher quest is given out after level 350, but the lower leveled Grid changed classes because he did not want to lose the item. Dropping to level 1 is an extreme penalty that follows legendary class changes. Chulho said moreover the rules state that your level drops by 2 when you fail a quest. Beginners below level 10 are exempted from that rule, but he became a level -1 because he was in a penalty state. Nahe said, wait a moment, does that mean? Chulho said, did you realize? 10 stat points are given per level, and he is the only level -1 user until now. You need 2 level ups to reach level 1 from -1. That means that this boy's stats will be 20 points higher compared to other same level users. If luck stacks up to this point, can it be called inevitability? And if it's inevitability, could it be related to his skills? Nahe said that could mean that there's a disruption of balance in the game. We need to fix it. Chulho said no need to go that far. As you said, he is an inefficient user, so there should not be anything to worry about. Moreover, Pagma's descendant is weak in combat compared to other legendary classes. I will head home now. Contact me if there's anything to report. Meanwhile, an uncle told Young Woo, he is calling for you. You have to get the money for the job earlier. After Grid took his salary, the staff discussing that Grid is a game addict. Apparently he does not work well either. They say that babies are born with at least one skill, but for him, so young but incapable for his age. Grid thought this should be enough for the game. To think that paying for the game is all that comes to mind. You should be ashamed a little, you despicable guy. Grid said, I was planning on selling items and making a comeback in life, but I just lost a few hundred of millions worth of money. I even kicked away my chance at success. Did I struggle this much just to have my dearest level 73 drop down to -1? Meanwhile, Chulho thought, I do not see any value in that user. That might be true, but I think that is his greatest asset. Well, he will have to realize that himself. Grid pondered, should I look for another way? I should also have at least one skill? No? Is there nothing that I can correctly do? Whatever, forget it. Let's go play the game again. While Chulho wonders, but his tenacity is certainly great. Soon, Grid wonders, now should we have another go? Even if I lose everything, I should at least check out the new class. Things should work fine as long as the capsule holds on. I am counting on you. I will do everything I can to gain a profit from this. System alerted connecting to satisfy. Grid wonder where is this place? It does not look anything like yesterday's cave. I worked hard in Patreon to raise my reputation though. It's unfair that they banished me just for a small betrayal. I should find a landmark to find out where I am. Grid wonders what the hell. Why is this place so gloomy? System alerted you have entered the Yatan temple. Grid thought temples are generally level 150 dungeons. This is dangerous. Then he looks on his level, it is really -1. But these options look pretty good. Grid wonders I could use the enhancement skill to make money. As for the item, should we try it out? Grid find out he managed to equip the level 60 item that he was planning on selling, even though he need more than 200 points in strength. System alerted a penalty is applied because the item conditions are not met. For Mammon's great sword attack power and option effects are decreased by 30% and 50% respectively. For Mengel's plate armor defense and option effects are decreased by 20% and 50% respectively. Grid said but the drawback is the penalties, but still the sword attack power of 200 and armor with 130. Since normal level 1 equipment's capabilities hover around the 10s, this is almost 10 times better, even with the penalties. Grid thought amazing. As expected of a legendary class. What a blessing, I am a blessed man. Wait a minute, if this is a level 150 dungeon, then the surrounding area must be field of a similar level. Since this is a Yatan temple, they must be Yatan believers. Are they casting an incantation? Roaming around in this state would be suicide right now. I would die just by grazing them. While Grid wanna leave, a man touches shoulder. The man told Grid calm down, you are gonna kill someone at this rate. I am Earl Stime's secret bodyguard. My name is Duran. Seeing how you were hiding, it seems like you are not on their side. That girl is Earl Stime's daughter, Irene. Indeed, it seems like she was kidnapped during my vacation. This is a difficult situation, but I'm glad to have a help by my side. System alerted rescued the Earl's esteemed daughter. Rescue Irene within 1 hour. Clear reward 3,000 gold. Clear reward of low chance become the Earl's son-in-law. Failure level -2. Grid thought another S-grade quest. This dude, he's an NPC. Duran said usually people would be in a state of fear here, but seeing how you are not, you truly must be powerful. Grid thought then there's no way a wimp like me would be fine. Did I get some other skill? It's thanks to composure. Stat points cannot be distributed. Lowers the probability of being affected by a status effect and recovers quickly from one. I should quickly learn about my class's characteristics. Duran said to think that you will help with the rescue. Thank you for making such a hard decision. Grid replied but I am not doing it. Duran said wait a minute, are you saying I should face all those black magicians on my own? Grid thought 3,000 gold is a pity, but my current state is because of another S-grade quest. You think I am crazy? Duran questioned, are not you a powerful person who can withstand the temple's terror? Without you, the rescue is impossible. Please help me. Grid explained I am fine just because I am lucky. I am a level -1, if I fail again I will be level -3. While Grid said I am telling you, I am too weak to help you, he accidentally pushes a stone and kill a magician. System alerted quest accepted. Duran said since you became the Yatan believers' enemy by killing one of them, we are in the same boat now. Our enemies are fanatical believers who sacrifice humans as offerings. Since they took over the altar, they won't easily let us through. Destiny is inevitable, don't complain and go with the flow. I will clear a passage, I'll leave the lady in your hands. Grid thought even though I am fully equipped, my health is only at 34 because of the penalties. I will die just by touching their breaths. Shit, I barely managed to steal myself and made a comeback, and yet you are killing me already. Then Grid noticed Duran's moving so quickly and swiftly in this narrow space. Duran said we won't get anywhere just by fighting them. You think so too, right? Grid replied I don't really. Duran ignored and said I know that you were waiting to kill them all at once rather than individually. Duran then pushed Grid and cast float magic to reach safely. Grid said, thanks to you I got to breathe again. Duran reminds if you are thankful, then you should go at full power from now on. Because this is where the real rescue starts. Magician yell punish the heretics with your spells. Duran never let them cast magic and through hidden attacks. A magician said he is mocking our casters, children of Yatan, buy me some time, we absolutely have to kill that heretic. While Grid wonders the magician mobs should be around level 150 and yet Duran's facing them all on his own. I might clear the S-grade quest using just the NPC at this rate, then what I can do now is cheering. Grid said do your best, Duran my sunshine, my hope. Next second, magician done their magic casting and defeated Duran. Grid wonders actually I always wanted to be a Yatan believer. Duran said I am merely completing the mission. As the sword that guards the family emblem. To fanatics who have laid their hands on the Stein family, there is no such thing as again. Duran dispersed the black magic and threw hidden weapon once again. Suddenly, a magic shield protected those magicians. A woman said, you have such good fortune today, you will have to give up on this offering. It's my S-grade quest to defend this sacrifice. To think that I would face a named NPC like Duran. This is my first exciting quest in a while. Will you be a worthy adversary? To me, Yura. Yura the Blood Witch. She is a Korean user consistently ranking first in the Black Magician rankings, as well as the 5th in the Unified rankings. She is a famous person who frequently appears on TV due to her beautiful appearance and outstanding abilities. The ultimate expert known for her excellent sense and control that allowed her to combine magic and surpass the limits of a black magician. Grid wonders what is she doing here? Yura questioned Grid, are you the one who activated the S-grade quest here? This was the only place that I could train a new skill without being bothered for being famous. Thanks to you, I now have a pleasant surprise. But won't it be hard for you with that armor and sword, being a level 80 only? Grid thought she got my level wrong, but as I thought, rankers are different. However, I still have Duran. Grid said, don't start trembling now. This esteemed Sir Duran is a named NPC. Yura said, oh, I was just about to ask you to be my opponent, to commemorate my 230th level. Duran said, let's move, warrior. Nothing will happen if we stay put, only being one step ahead. We can win this battle. Yura said, you act like an NPC that has completed his 3rd class advancement. However, you are not to my liking. Yura cast magic hold Duran's legs and blocked Duran's hidden weapon, followed by another few magic black holes draining Duran's blood. Grid thought he'll die at this rate. If you fall, I am dead too. Yura said, it's an advanced skill in which I poured 30% of my mana. With this, it's finish. Duran said, how arrogant young black magician. Let me show you the power that has protected the family emblem for hundreds year. Yura replied, you forcibly dispelled a level 220 mesmerize skill. Duran said, it's thanks to this ring. It's an item that shines during emergencies. It's not perfect, but it can dispel curses and heal your body. Grid said, please give me. Duran replied, are not you a hell of a beggar? In any case, since it's not omnipotent, we have to hurry. Stick with me, warrior. Yura thought, he's tougher than I thought. Even if I keep my last resort, I have to deal with top level magic. That warrior is the only variable here, but what could a terrified low level user possibly do in this high level field? Seeing Grid action, Yura wonders how pathetic. He was trying to clear the quest using only the NPC. Anyways, now's the time. Great God of darkness, plant fear and agony in the enemies' hearts and reveal your powers. Yura said, let me end this for sure. Duran a high rank attack with maximum mana output. Dark Storm. Before the attack hit on Duran, Grid blocked it. Yura thought, he's perfectly fine even after taking my attack head on. There's no way I would not know of such an amazing user. Just who is this guy? Grid thought, my health is at 1, even though I got hit? Then he recalled back the title, a legend does not die easily, so that's why I'm alive. In Yura's vision, just what is he? Is not he a level 80 and he's smiling? Yura shocked and wonders, there's no way I would not know of such an amazing user. Duran step on Grid and jump strike over Yura. Duran said, you have to be one step ahead to win. Yura said, your last desperate attack, is it? Don't belittle me, Crystal Shield. Yura blocked it and said, I am almost at my limit. I have to deal with that guy before it's too late. Then he finds out Grid disappeared. She wonders, he simply log out? He remained by the sidelines even though he was that strong? Just who is that user? Meanwhile, system alerted Grid, you died. Your level has dropped by 2, you are now level -3. You are unable to connect to the game for the next 12 hours, due to dying twice in 24 hours. Back to a moment earlier, damage 1 when Duran step on him. Grid wonders, I was team killed. Dory, you son of the bitch. Yura thought he yielded the quest to me? To Yura? How dare he show sympathy to me? I will find him. Unforgivable. The next day, the unknown user was given a nickname by the community. Ghost of the Yatan Temple. Grid thought, this is all Yura's fault. If only she were not there, it would not been a happy ending. It does make me mad, but this is a game where the strong ones rule. Let's calmly think back on it myself. I am the biggest jackass in town. Die, Yura. Suddenly, Grid's little sister Sei questioned, did you finally go crazy? She find out Grid's room was damn dirty. Then she questioned, can you really earn money with this game? Grid replied, there's 2 billion people playing this game. If you do it seriously, you could get successful. The Sei reads the comment Grid wrote. Grid explained this piece of shit did it, it was not me. Say he felt disappointed on his brother behavior and leave. The next day, a channel broadcast the game Satisfy. This man is Kyung Min from Satisfy's Global News. Kyung Min said, "We are currently at the Yatan Church in the north of Eternal Kingdom. Last night it collapsed. During our investigations, we have unearthed a familiar name. The incident's protagonist was the 5th rank of the unified rankings, the Black Magician Yura. Looking at the state the temple is in, we believe that an incredible battle took place over here. Well then, let us listen to the sole witness of the incident. Witnesses said, I was being chased by monsters. Then I saw Yura was casting skills to a certain guy, but then something happened that surprised her. Yura shot some kind of ultimate attack, but that guy took it head on and was unscathed. Kyung Min questioned, was he a famous person? He should be a top ranker, only able to do that. Witnesses said, I was just staring at Yura, and died after getting crushed under a boulder. Kyung Min said, every user around the world wants to know just who could this user be. Grid wonders, am I famous now? Money carpet. What? Grid immediately make a call to Global News and told them the guy from the Yatan temple was me. I am Grid. They questioned Grid, please tell us your level as well. Grid replied, I am level -3, then the phone call immediately ended. Kyung Min said, lastly, we have some footage from the scene, so please take a look. Grid thought, it's Duran. Did he successfully rescue Irene? But he does not look good. Duran, so you end up dying although he was an NPC. He was a good guy with a really good magic ring. TV continues broadcast hot topic issue. Then they invited Cats, a level 203 warrior. Grid thought, if it's Cats, is he the one famous for being a jerk? They say that he's the son of a big corporation's CEO. The way he talks is annoying. From conversation, Grid also curious how Cats increased to 53rd place and level increased by 30 within 3 months. Grid took about years to get to level 70. Cats said, wait, if this is a Korean channel, the Korean rankings first place goes to Yura, right? Listen up Yura, your era ends now. The one to rank first in the unified rankings will be me, and I will trample on your pride. It's all thanks to this sword. See for yourself if I am bullshitting or not. This is my passive skill. Any weapon I hold will transform into this shape, and I can absorb a certain amount of health in proportion to my attack power. The more I attack, the faster I heal, and my hunting speed increases tremendously. The broadcaster questioned, but I've never heard of a skill like this. Cats replied, of course, you have not. It's a power I gained 3 months ago. Blood Warrior, it's my one and only epic class. Grid thought, another hidden class, and to think that with a single class skill, he increased his level by that much. I also want to use Pagma's Descendant properly. Soon, system alerted, you have entered Barren Town. Grid wonders, I did not spawn at the temple because I am enemies with the Yatan Church now. There are a lot of user looking for party member who level 100 and above. Grid thought a level -3 like me will be left to die of starvation in town, so he decided head over to an appropriate town first. But the money he have right unable to pay for transport either. Finally, Grid remembered that he is a Pagma's Descendant. Grid pondered, if I make items, I can make money and level up at the same time. First off, master Blacksmith's technique. It says the attributes of all items are increased by 10% when Grid make items. His stats and reputation increase as well. Grid find out he is starting off having mastered the master level skill and with level 1 in the legendary skill. The best is the creation skill that allows him to create a production method himself. Grid thought, since the epic class was that great, as the legendary class should be even better. System alerted, legendary Blacksmith's creation skill activated. What kind of item will you create? And followed by, what materials would you like to use? After Grid answered, to create a great sword. Grid answered, blue orichalcum I heard earlier. System alerted, after designing the item, please describe its characteristics. Grid said, let's make it cool and big and strong just like a shark. Attack power above 10 million every time I swing it. Meteors fall. Make it ignore all defenses so that it can one-hit kill. System alerted, automatic corrections commencing, making adjustments after synthesizing the characteristics, options and materials. Grid wonders, it is changing things on its own. I might have made it too absurd. Why are there so many numbers and screens everywhere? Suddenly, Grid confused why he can understand all that info. This is a new blueprint though. Is it a class effect? This feel like he is a real blacksmith. Grid seeing the stats of durability of 1090 with an attack power of 1820, defense of 80 plus agility 50. Grid thought, this is incredible. The characteristics that I babbled on were adjusted, but there's plenty of extra option. Amazing. Now I have to get blue orichalcum ores from the party that's going for the Guardian of the Forest. Then he noticed user restriction level 300 or higher. 5,000 strength or more, advanced sword mastery level 8 or higher. But the first ranked user right now is only at 250. Grid thought you won't get 5,000 strengths even by pouring all your stat points into strength. And the current top blacksmith only has intermediate level skills. To reach advanced sword level 8, I just made crap with a super rare skill, a shark-shaped big and powerful piece of shit. It's not like I can't use it, I am not affected by the restrictions. Even my current equipment is the same situation. Even if there's the penalties for not meeting the requirements, this great sword will still be overpowered, if I manage to make it. Good, I can see the tunnel's end. I have to enter the Guardian of the Forest party no matter what and dine and dash. Soon, Grid went to the one who finding party member, but immediately being rejected by the man. The man said this is a level 190 minimum party and looking at you equipment, you should be around level 60. Grid said although I look like this I am at level 100. My equipment does not matter much because I have good control. The man replied, what are you saying that we rely on our items too much? Rigas said everybody enough. Since our guild is in charge of the boss mob, we can leave him in charge of another job. Someone said wow, it's Rigas from the Zedaka guild. The first place in the martial artists rankings, his nickname is Taekwondo Master. The equipment items requirements are so severe that raising the level is difficult, yet he's already at level 180. Grid thought a top ranker with good looking. The world truly is unfair. The man said, Mr. Rigas, even if you like someone there should be limits. You can't just accept an unidentified user. Rigas said, but is not having a lot of party members good for cleaning up the surroundings? Grid replied, of course, I can do that. Grid thought although I don't like his appearance, he's a good guy. The man said, I understand your point, but I wonder if we could convince everyone. Rigas said, well then let's have a 1vs match to test his abilities. As long as we can prove his control skills, it won't be a problem, right? Grid thought, I am fucked up. Rigas questioned, shall we get started? Grid said I should go train my left foot's control today and left. Grid thought it did not go well. Let's earn money for the carriage trip first. System alerted, please name the newly designed item. Grid thought creation has a limited number of slots, so I should use it only when I absolutely need a custom-made item. From now on I will earn money for the route and study a bit about creating items. Grid decided named it failure as this is just the beginning. Afterward, Grid went to Smith's smithy. He requested for the blueprint for an item that sells well. The shop owner replied, you ignorant little lump of blood, are you looking down on blacksmiths? Kids these days don't even know the basics and just want to gain money. Grid failed once again and said, I am fucked. This was my only way to earn money for the trip. Am I going to die in this town just like this? The shop owner came out and said, I can't even tell you to actually go and die. Don't disturb our neighborhood by crying against my wall. Just go and chop me some firewood. System alerted, chop firewood. Chop 500 pieces of firewood. Clear rewards plus 10 EXP and 20 bronze. Grid remembered that within this game, you can even potentially fail at chopping wood properly. Grid wonders, will item appraisal be of help? After appraise, system alerted, your understanding of old axe is at 100%. You have learned how to make an old axe. Grid thought 100% on the first try. But theoretical knowledge is different from actual practice. Am I supposed to hit there? As Grid successfully done in one hit, he realized if he reached 100% understanding for a legendary item, then he would soon become successful. 2 hours later, Grid thought, this crappy level 3 stamina, I've only managed to do 150 of them. I will squeeze out my energy to the last drop. I can't procrastinate if I want to escape from this town. Hang on a little more. Just one more. System alerted, persistence stat has been opened. You do not get tired easily. The user's equipment weight limit has increased. The feeling of satiation's duration has increased. Every time 10 points are added to the persistence stat, the indomitable stat point increases by 1. Afterward, shop owner was surprised that Grid chopped 1,000 of them within 6 hours. Grid said it was a piece of cake. Despite my appearance, I am a blacksmith. The owner said, how funny. How can that puny body be a blacksmith's? However, if you succeed in this, I will believe you. System alerted, mine iron or quest. Grid thought 55 experience points will get me back to level 0. Soon. Grid wonders to think that I took 3 hours for a 30-minute march. I am out of energy just from moving. Since I am just a minus level wearing level 70 equipment, it's no wonder my movement speed is slow. I want to take it off right now. Grid said, excuse me, I am here to mine for iron ores for Mr. Smith. The man said, we are a bit too busy to adjust the quantity right now. For now, don't disturb us. Go to that corner and imitate us. Smith sent us a guy like him even though we are too busy to be teaching someone else. As Grid start to mine, they shocked. Grid thought my body feels like it's about to break but my mind is clear. He was not wrong but even pointless persistence. Other miners start discussing how great Grid was. System alerted you have gathered 170 iron ore. Grid achieved level 1. You are now level 1. Your stats that were fixed to a minimum due to the minus level penalty have been restored to their normal states. The basic stats of Pagma's descendant have been applied. Grid thought a normal level 1's total stat points should be only 22, but Pagma's descendants is 165. If I count the persistence that was created earlier and the additional point in Indomitable, it's 182. Wait, 40 stats points, they are supposed to give out 10 points per level, so why do I have 40? There were 4 levels from -3 to 1, this is amazing. Soon, Mr. Smith said to think that I treated such an outstanding person so harshly, how embarrassing. System alerted your affinity with Smith has increased by 60, your reputation within Barren Town has increased by 200. Mr. Smith hugged on Grid's arm and said, come on, don't be mad, we are both blacksmiths. Grid replied, please recommend some items that sell well like I said last time, I need the money for my carriage fare. Mr. Smith said, I've prepared just the thing for you. Yafa arrows. These should be good enough as your first item. Its effect is that it ignores some of the enemy's defense. This is indispensable for raids against powerful golems such as the Guardian of the Forest. Grid appraised it. System alerted your understanding of the Yafa arrow is at 89%. You are able to use the Yafa arrow skillfully. Grid wonders if I increase my understanding by disassembling it, will I get to learn the production method? Mr. Smith said, I will trot you about the production method, so follow me. Grid watched the blacksmith's action carefully. Although Satisfy is a realistic game, acquiring knowledge is quite easy. Grid thought, moreover, for me, I have something called the class compensation effect. Are these signs for the direction and strength of the bellows? It has not even been 5 minutes, but I managed to heat up the furnace. System alerted Pagma's descendant is sensitive to the temperature. You are precisely measuring the blast furnace's temperature. Grid thought, incredible. I get a notification window with the detailed temperature on display. This is certainly going to be a success. System alerted, quest cleared. You have gained 80 experience points. Your affinity with Smith has increased by 30. You have gained 3 Yafa ingots. Suddenly, Mr. Smith said, you were amazing, and so sexy, even though you did not have any experience with smelting. Unbelievable. You can't simply be called talented anymore. It's just like Pagma was reborn. Grid thought, not exactly a reincarnation, but a descendant. System alerted you gained 1 level, you are currently level 2. Soon, with Mr. Smith guiding, system alerted you are learning the Yafa arrow production method. Your understanding of the Yafa arrow has reached 100%. Mr. Smith thought, as I thought, he is no ordinary boy, the way he handles the molten metal is masterclass. Then he said, oh, I did not teach you how to make the arrow shafts. Grid said, it's fine, I will make it myself. Grid thought, because my understanding is at 100% the shaft production method was added. All I did was watch, but it still increased my understanding. Although the list is short right now, the day will come when it will be filled to the brim. This much is doable myself. Straighten out the twisted parts, and after cutting it uniformly, make the fletching using feathers and glue. The efficiency is astonishing due to my dexterity stat and class compensation effect. Mr. Smith questioned, what are you doing? Why are you quenching the arrowhead? If you do that, although it will get harder, it won't be as durable. Grid said, don't worry, I plan on tempering the arrowheads. If I make it even a bit better, I can sell it for a higher price. Grid thought, how intriguing indeed. My occupation to this day has been about doing hard labor, so I never expected I'd have so much fun working like this. Grid said, I finished making the arrow, now the quest should be clear. System alerted, legendary blacksmith's breath has activated. Grid questioned, what's going on? System alerted, special Yafa arrow epic. Grid thought, leaving the level up aside, its epic grade. Mr. Smith said, this is magnificent to think that a boy who is not an apprentice like you made a perfect arrow. Are not you impressed as well? Grid cried and thought, this should have been a sword. I got an epic grade. Still, amongst the existing arrows, there are none that exceed 40 in attack power. Moreover, there's the extra option to completely ignore the enemy's defense. My class's effect is amazing. At this stage, this must be better than most level 21 handed weapons out there. Soon, Mr. Smith said, what a pity. Can't you stay for a bit longer? Grid replied, we will meet again, if destiny allows it, so don't worry. I can't keep these amazing weapons, take them with you. System alerted, you have gained 100 Yafa arrows and 3 Yafa ingots. Grid thought, is it because of our high affinity? He gave out a lot. Grid said, I've been in your care, Mr. Smith. Thank you. Mr. Smith said it would be nice if we could live together. Grid replied, please don't say such disturbing words and wonders, although the presents are nice. The weight slow me down. It's gonna take a while to reach the town. In any case, as long as I sell the arrows, I can leave this place. Wait for me, users. I Grid am bringing you guys some amazing things.